Insert the announcer boy here. Remind announcer boy to unmute Mike.
It's Friday. Do you know where your IT pros are? We don't. It's patch and switch. I don't know how to press the buttons anymore. They changed the whole studio. What is this? I want a refund! Hello?
I think we're the ones that need to ask for the refund.
You were harassing me about not having a light earlier because it's so dark here. And you couldn't tell announcer boy to unmute themselves.
Apparently he's in a remote studio.
You know, he's in a small room, lots of padding on the walls. I guess
It's a booth, actually. It looks like a phone booth from the photo I got. I don't know.
It's oh, happy Friday, buddy.
Hey, buddy. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to all the peeps, as the kids say.
One of the people on your team contacted me on social and said this has been the most productive week that he's had in years. because it was no meeting week.
No meeting. I want to know who had no meetings. Well, apparently they did
I
I
had a ton of meetings still.
Because I was in pretty much every one of those meetings with you.
Yeah. So happy no meeting week.
We've reached the end of the no meeting week.
Yes.
So it's back to meetings next week.
We still have another 7 hours.
We had a no meeting week?
We have another 7 hours.
Another 7 hours. We should say hello to Jay Flo alongside of Cooper.
Nice.
Phil Erb is in the house. He says it's that time again? Question mark. Yes, I know. Wow. Sorry. Absolutely in the house. TRP 8472 out there post as usual, as is GoGo Gadget 360, who suggests if you're using a high enough SKU, you can native client RDP SSH integration, which is a lot nicer. And I don't even know the thread, so we're just putting that out there.
Yeah, just putting that out there. Free tech support.
100%. 100%.
That's what people come to the show for, is the free tech support.
100%. Yeah. The fairest of Brits is here. Hello to our Essex girl, the resident Essex girl, Wire Canuck in the house as well. I believe Jay Shock. I believe that is everybody. I believe that's who said hello as we progress down. Oh, Aspen Forrester says hello, everyone.
Right. So if you are live or watching this live, we stream simultaneously both to the Twitches and also to YouTube. Because we are not exactly large enough to have them really care about us streaming to two different spots. So.
Actually, anybody can do that now.
Oh, they changed that rule, did they?
Yes.
Okay. And if you're catching us on replay, because Rick actually got off of his butt and published the last 6 episodes, thank you very much for joining us. You can find us every other fortnightly Friday, Pacific time, on either Patch and Switch on twitch.com or on the YouTubes, on the other.
Computech says hello, as does Kowski, who says hello again.
Nice.
And DJ Eddie L says, I'm sort of alive. Question mark? Well, yeah, that happens.
So
Ledwig's here. I saw Ledwig earlier, too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
All the socials happening here. Yeah.
He said aloha.
Join us in the chat. Say hello.
Yes, hi.
Interact. We've got about an hour to go. My executive review meeting just started. Good thing I'm not involved in that one, because it's a no meeting Friday.
So did the meeting start if it's a no meeting Friday?
It's a different org that doesn't have the no meeting. So I'm not.
Fair enough.
I was there to listen as a participant, and guess what? Copilot can do that, and
that's right.
Give me a summary of everything too.
It can summarize the summary.
Yep. Very cool. But interact with us within chat. We'll call you out and say hello, go off on random tangents because we specialize in that kind of stuff, all the fun things. But this is the Patch and Switch show.
It's very dark where you are.
It is. So this is my normal, shady voice. You can't hear what I am. I'm here.
Rick has entered the witness protection program.
Yes. So normally there's nice bright sunshine coming in my window, which is just right here. Unfortunately, that doesn't exist today because we are now starting the lovely fall season here in the Pacific Northwest. Which
your 2 weeks of summer is over.
2 weeks of summer is over. We never had the fake summer this year, which was kind of sad.
Huh.
Normally we have a fake summer that's at least a week long in September, but that didn't really happen.
Huh.
Yeah, it's dark. Apparently I need to buy more lighting to make sure that I can compensate for no lighting. And of course, you are just rubbing it in our faces that you actually have natural light and sunshine in the sunny Las Vegas.
Time. All the time. It's like 25 degrees right now, Celsius.
Nice. I'll just wait another 10 years or so when you're like begging us for our water more. Apparently there's a large tap that we can turn on and turn off or something like that. No idea.
Well, we're not going there. We need to say hello to I Am Curious Mob, who says, in the last 5 minutes, just postponed a data center migration until next weekend. So free to lurk here. That is a Friday gift. Of your entire weekend back. RIP to next weekend. Nice. DevOps Maverick says, bonjour, it's Friday. Hashtag jazz hands. Hashtag beer o'clock in the UK.
Nice. Very jealous. Very jealous. It's great to see all the folks that are joining us today.
I wish it was 5 o'clock. I mean, no offense.
We got some time. Even on my no meeting week, I still have some meetings later today after the show, including... I'm thinking of you because I am actually meeting up with a certain executive producer for a particular event that we're both involved with.
Oh,
because she has a secret item that she's asking me to do a review of that seems to be traditionally what you and I would do together.
Okay.
So I don't know. Maybe we could do like some kind of remote reveal.
Hey, listen, if there was technology that allowed us to actually do video with two of us in two separate locations,
we might be able to rig something up. All
right. Okay. Absablog and Lily says, hope the ISP got the message that the migration is postponed. Ooh, yeah. That would end poorly, wouldn't it? That would end poorly. Aspen Forrester says a backpack question mark. Okay, he's not answering. Phil Erb, the backpack question mark.
Nice.
Are we talking about Microsoft Ignite, which is in Chicago?
Yes.
In November?
In Chicago. I want to say it is, it's under 50 days to go. I want to say it's like in the mid 40s. I missed my countdown timer tweet or Zeet or whatever the hell it's called. Tweet. That the automated tool goes off and does. But yeah, it's definitely approaching. Most of my conversations this week have been around speaker logistics, expenses, travel, who's doing
experts for the expert zone,
experts for the experts area, MVP integration. It's been a busy week as far as that's concerned.
We're all in the same. We're in all the same meetings. Minus I'm not in the budget meetings. I'll leave
right.
you to that.
Oh, thanks.
But yes,
thanks. So 100%. Yeah, that's been there.
Which, by the way, if you are not aware, it is November 18th to the 22nd in Chicago. You will be able to live stream the event. The in-person experience is currently sold out for both the technical and the partner side. So, as previously mentioned, we're integrating Microsoft Inspire, or the event formerly known as Microsoft Inspire. We're inviting our partners in. Phil Erb says he's going to be there. Aspen Forrester says, got my golden ticket. Jay Shock is saying, no, wish I could join. You just drive the Jayhawk and just park it outside and connect. Like, somebody will run an extension cord.
He could park it in the in-between on the main floor on ground level 1 is where we've got two sections where the majority of the technical content is going to be delivered. There's actually a public road that goes through the middle of it in an underpass kind of thing. He could park the Jayhawk there.
Oh,
no, and they don't allow engineers there.
So,
yeah.
Okay, sure. Tell that to the 7 meetings I had this week. Okay, DJ Eddie L will be there as well. Aspen Forrester making a big decision as to whether or not to take the train from Minneapolis to Chicago or just fly. Ooh, interesting question.
Oh, MPLS is Minneapolis? Is that what the shortness is?
Yeah, well, I mean, it could stand for other things.
Minneapolis.
Multi-platform language service.
That could be it. or I was going to say large language skew, but that would be 2 L's. But
Multi-point logistical service.
all of those could work. Oh man,
Philip
what? It's
says,
time,
"Take
my
the
friend.
train."
It's time, my friend,
What's that?
for the first segment of the show.
Oh, we have segments?
We have segments. The first segment is From the Trenches, the work that you and I have actually been doing. That is work related throughout the last couple of weeks and fortnights.
Yeah. So the aforementioned Microsoft
Yeah.
Ignite has been taking up quite a bit of my time. I know yours as well. Working on a couple of really cool things. So if you are signed up and you're interested in a couple of really cool pre-day experiences, I do believe there's still room. Correct me
Yes.
if I'm wrong. I don't believe they've sold out yet.
Correct.
But there are 2 cool security pre-day experiences to pick up on. One is AI red teaming. And it's a hands-on our AI red team inside of Microsoft. The people who attack our own AI services are going to teach you how to red team your AI in a hands-on environment.
Cool.
And then the other bit is kind of talking about really data oversharing and preventing it. It's basically securing your data estate prior to doing a Microsoft 365 Copilot deployment. And that is going to be led from a couple of our friends in engineering. The lovely Sarah Young is wrangling both of those, but spending a lot of time actually shaping that M365 one. The AI red teaming one has kind of already been, it's already pretty well
Looked
baked.
after. It's already baked and basically just being modified to be able to fit, because these are only 4 hours long.
4 hours, yes.
It is super jam packed, and there's basically 2 formats. You have one in each of the formats, right?
I do. I have. So the M365 Copilot one is lecture based, not so much hands on, but with folks from our engineering and CXE teams. And the AI red teaming is a hands on experience, and I'm about to sneeze.
Okay,
Just
you can
putting
go ahead
that
and
out
sneeze.
there.
You got it. Well, there's also some really cool stuff I know that Pierre is involved with for getting the Windows Server team has some airtime, because there's a little thing that's known as Windows Server 2025, which is all happening around the time of Microsoft Ignite. And so they managed to secure a pre-day workshop with advanced management and technical capabilities type stuff for the Windows Server ecosystem folks across the board. That was a very good sneeze. You hit the mute button just in time.
I did.
So we got a parade of different engineering teams coming through and talking about stuff, which is awesome. And then we have our
Hang on, you said a parade?
Stuff, a parade of different.
Are there going to be floats?
I believe at least a marching band, and I think that they're still looking for the drum major with the big staff to throw around.
How about clowns? Are there going to be clowns in this parade?
Clowns are scary.
No,
Clowns
Orange is staying in Australia.
Yeah.
What about the, what do they call those? The big plastic horn things? Those things. Like
Zulu
Vuvuzelas.
from the World Cup in Africa.
Zuzuzela? What?
Vuvuzelas.
the vuvuzelas,
Vuvuzela.
yeah.
Or if it's from Australia, it'd be the didgeridoos. Would they not? Got it.
Go.
Yeah, so there's that one there going on, but then we also have some stuff going on with using Arc connected systems across the board as a management plane, basically looking at the future for how to set things up. This from hands-on experiences, really cool there. Some more stuff with adaptive cloud. It's the Microsoft terminology for the next iteration of all of our hybrid offerings taking place as well. So yeah, it was that's just the pre-day. So as you said, if you're already registered, you've already paid to come.
Yep.
Go back to your registration page if you haven't looked yet, and there is an option to say optional add-ons or optional buy-ins. I don't know what the term is because I don't get to see that because I'm a staffer.
Right. Yes.
So I can't even tweet about it because I can't show you what the user experience looks like. But it allows you to basically go in and to purchase one of these. They're about $300 each for being able to go to one. You're going to fit one in, and that's it.
That's right. So, 4 hours Monday of the week, which is
4 hours on the pre-day, the Monday, because the real
Monday
event
prior.
starts on Tuesday.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had something else. Top of mind. Now, if you can't be there in person, Unfortunately, you will not be able to consume these pre-day activities. However, all of the rest of the sessions are recorded.
Yep.
And the sessions are streamed. So
You are correct.
There are some exceptions to the streaming. Workshops, hands-on labs are not recorded and streamed. Just
right.
So you know.
Yes. So the hands-on experiences or the interactive lab experiences, those are in person only. Each different grouping has like 7 or 8 different hands-on experiences or interactive experiences you can go throughout the week as labs. There's also the theater sessions, which are extended versions of the demo sessions.
Yes.
So basically 30 minutes long or 25 minutes long.
We call that the 12-inch extended remix.
To the full EP. It's the EP, right? It's not the
That's correct.
LP.
Not a 7-inch single. You get the 12-inch single. The extent.
So
it's the 15-minute version of your favorite 80s tune, right?
You got it.
Or 30 minutes.
So
in this
those
case.
are not streamed. Those are in person only as well. And so that's kind of where it is. And
Hey,
it's Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Friends in chat are. Cooper wants to know if hands-on labs are pets or scritches. Both. In chat, people are using the exclamation point word and suggesting words which are used by the glorious hosts here to determine the name of the next episode. This week's show is called Derailed, Yacht, Wonky. And who knows what the next fortnight show is going to be, but you can help contribute that by using exclamation point word in chat. And then we vote by leveraging the amazing tool at patchandswitch.showbot.tv. And of course, I do take into account everyone's votes to make sure it's completely fair. I do not just randomly select whatever words I want.
Absolutely.
I would never do that. Never.
I just love how that works. Love how that works.
GoGo Gadget 360 says it's cool there'll be hands-on labs again. DJ Eddie L, didn't they have dogs at the last Ignite in Orlando? Was that Orlando or was that?
I thought it was the one before where we had like a petting station.
Was that New Orleans or Atlanta?
It wasn't New Orleans. New Orleans never happened. It was supposed to be, but that was the one that was the.
Oh, you never went to a New Orleans event?
No, I've been to New Orleans ones back in the olden days.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So not Ignite.
Days.
So it was Ignite. So would it have been?
Yeah.
It would have been Houston or Atlanta.
Yeah.
Holy cow! I'm Curious Mob says they did in the last Orlando event. Okay, that's my bad.
Yeah.
Okay. And another random IT guy is in the house. Hello, sir. Good to see you as well. Not at Disneyland yet.
I had an interesting conversation. Like one of the jobs that we have as advocates inside of Microsoft on our teams. I mean, you work in the security space.
Yes, allegedly.
With the security engineering teams and with the security marketing teams. You've got a staff of amazing worldwide people across literally almost every time zone, rather diverse time zones. On my side, we also have Sonia Cuff out of Australia with a whole bunch of folks, including, unfortunately, people like Pierre doing things too. But anyway,
unfortunately,
I was having a conversation with my contacts over in the storage environment inside of Azure Compute. And they were talking about collaborating and creating some content around some of the stuff that is near and dear to my heart, which is around Azure Files.
Ooh.
We're a big fan here at the Patch and Switch world of something that's known as Azure Files Sync, where you're able
basically
to go
because it gives Rick his From the Trenches topic every single week.
You got it, because I'm working on that all the time. So the Azure File Sync is something that is allows you to basically attach it up to an existing file server, attach it up securely to a Azure file store in the back end, and then basically have I'm not going to say unlimited because that's not realistic. You have up to the maximum of the size of the storage account of new extra places you can go and put content and have it age up based on policies. That's all kind of great stuff. But the reason why they were talking to me was because, hey, we need to get some more content out there talking about the other uses of Azure Files, not just as a file server, but they were there talking about some changes that they made for making it work with Azure Virtual Desktop, AVD.
Oh,
It brought me back to my NT4 administration days, my friend. Like literally, whack server name, whack users, whack percent username percent for roaming
yeah.
profiles. You remember those?
Yeah. So this is all done through Azure Files?
So you can enable this on your AVD environments so that you have a roaming profile that you can go back to, but it's not tied to a server. It's tied to Azure file stores. So pretty cool. I'm literally like flashing back to the old days of how this would work, and how many people you can support with this. But I'm like, so can you give me an example of like the differences between Windows Virtual Desktop with M365 versus AVD for Azure Virtual Desktop? And they're like, really simple. AVD, think of it as being persistent. It's yours. It's there. You're going to have the same environment when you're there. Whereas WVD for Windows Virtual Desktop, from M365 side of things, it's just kind of built for you on the fly as you need to. So it's a bit more dynamic for being able to get people in and out and doing things. Whereas AVD is definitely a bit more scaled, and still needs to have similar capabilities like a home roaming directory that follows you around and things like that. So
that
very,
is
very
stored
cool.
and backed up and dealt with in the cloud. Yeah.
Yeah. So the thing that they're asking me to talk about and to get some ideas on content to create was just simply, hey, we don't necessarily have these different scenarios for how our customers are using these services, but we, as far as here's how you document it. It's like, yes, it works. Yes, it's supported. Here's how you make it better, kind of things as far as recommendations are concerned.
That's super cool.
So we're going to be kind of gamifying internally to figure out what are some other scenarios that we're seeing our customers use this stuff for, and then put some more actual, I guess you'd say, reference information.
Guidance.
Guidance. That's it. That's the word. Guidance. So the docs for Azure Files, has mentions of it, but it's not necessarily exhaustively documented like it could. So,
highlights, properly highlighting.
We're going to have some fun with it, I think.
I have also been working with a team on some stuff that is probably not front and center, top of mind when we start talking about security. So oftentimes we talk about security in the Microsoft stack. We talk about things that are tied into Microsoft 365, E3, E5, like Defender, Enter ID, et cetera, et cetera. What about what's built into the core platform of Azure? Like, how do we prevent DDoS attacks? How do we do networking security? How do we look at those threats, and how running Azure and the team that runs Azure, the engineering team, which we're now a part of inside of our organization, how they address that. So I've been working with a couple of folks on that who are, they are executives, they are VPs, but they are engineering VPs. So they are the ones who are in charge of the strategy and on the hook for that. So stay tuned for that. It's a really cool kind of an overview of how we protect the cloud platform in general. And yeah, we talk, obviously Enter ID plays into this because identity is kind of the center of the universe there, but it's some super cool stuff that we've got there. There's some fun sessions where we're really looking at real problems that our IT professionals are facing. Yes, I know it is Microsoft Ignite, and there's lots of net new stuff that's going to be arriving on the scene. But we're being, super thoughtful about this stuff. That the M365 piece I was talking about earlier, like Copilot. Like, when no way I'm going to deploy that thing. My data state is, it's old. It's like there's a bunch of stuff I don't know what's out there. I don't even know where to start because it's intimidating. You read the docs and it sounds like you've got to spin up, 100 VMs to run for 2 months at a time to go and do all this stuff. So I'm super excited. And look, it's just going to get better as we proceed forward, right? We're going to have more and more opportunities to talk about this stuff. So I'm excited for it. Obviously going to be good to get back out in amongst our peeps and going back to really where it started. And no, I am not going to make any commitments on food this time. No, we learned that lesson from the last one, but we have lots of places to go outside of the venue.
Oh, you mean the conference food?
Yes.
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 Conference food. I've not even.
But going back, I mean, it's funny, but everybody's kind of reminiscing about Tech Ed in New Orleans, how it was the kind of the Tech Ed was at Boston was the first show in the Boston Convention Center. Tech Ed New Orleans was the first show to come back since Hurricane Katrina, and then that poster, which I think I have my version, it's sitting right down there. I haven't hung it up yet, but man, that was I mean, we had some fun adventures there. Philip saying, whoa, hang on, there will be bacon, right? Hashtag show bacon. Show bacon. I don't know. I haven't heard. I've not been involved in those discussions. I can do an
investigative report into figuring out actually what the different options are for food, because I have.
You're in those meetings. I tend to stay like content. Like that's kind of where I'm playing. Though nice. I don't know. I could bring that up in the next executive meeting, maybe.
Yeah.
Or you could, because I'm basically just there to listen so that I can tell you what happened.
You know what? I will tell you something I suggested.
What did you suggest?
This is not me speaking out of turn or talking out of school or whatever it's called, but for those that are there in person, I have put in the offer. I didn't make a request. I put in the offer that we could do a patch and switch show before the keynote inside of a breakout room.
Oh, we've done this before. We've done this before.
And we had bacon-covered donuts and
did.
Energy drinks. I have no budget to buy any of that. But there's a possibility that they might actually take me up on this offer. If you're up for it, I don't know if you're up for it. We could do a show, but we'd have to find some guests because that's more entertaining than us just talking.
Oh, yeah, believe me, yes.
So we'd have to find some guests, but we're 40 odd days out. Let's put our thinking caps on. Maybe even the crowd in the chat can help us out.
I don't know. Would you be interested in a live in person patch and switch? And then who would you want as guests?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure we're not getting Rasinovich. Like, let's just be like,
he's got a whole entourage now that I have to go through to talk to him.
Oh, believe me, I know, because he wanted a session and the whole entourage reached out to me at the same time. Yes.
Yes.
And I'm like, y'all realize that I'm not going to say no, right?
Yes.
You figured that out, right?
Yeah.
DJ Eddie L says, ping me. I may have some folks. Okay, we'll talk about it. We'll have your people call our people and they will do lunch.
Yeah. So we're just getting creative with different ways that we can have people watch the keynote.
TRP 8472, you need to get a hold of John Seville for donuts with you all. John Seville. He did the demos in the Entra session at the last night.
Yeah. For really serious famous people, they probably have roles in the keynotes or others, so I don't know if they're coming to our stuff.
Aspen says, I did 10. Phil Erb says, hear me out. Patch and switch do the keynote. Mystery Science Theater 3K style. No, we like our jobs.
Yes. Yes.
That is what we would call an RGE.
Yeah.
A resume generating event. Yes, exactly.
For sure.
Hey, we should probably move on because we've been talking about Igniting from the Trenches quite a bit. The second segment of the show is Beer Money, which is the support that we do for our friends, our families, friends, sisters, uncles, cousins. It has been quiet on this side of the fence, on the Beer Money side, because everybody's back to work and college. So we had a quick week of updating all the machines and getting all of the proper authentication set up, and everybody's all in. School is being done online. Work is being done online. Set up a new M365 tenant for the travel agency for the lovely Mrs. Snow. So now it's been quiet. It was no ticket week this week.
No ticket week.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Very nice. It's always good when your Jira ticket queue is empty.
Yes.
Very nice.
What about you?
I had some Beer Money support, but technically I don't know if it's Beer Money support or like unofficial, unauthorized tech support for your spouse. and their work environment. Does that count as beer money? Or is
Oh,
that,
so okay. Well, I mean,
how do you? I don't know how you classify that.
I don't know
me
how.
tell you the story.
Basically, their help desk was too slow, so therefore you had to step up.
So sort of, yes. They
That's called shadow.
Sort of.
it's
Shadow. It's shadow IT.
shadow IT.
Hashtag
IT
shadow.
support.
Hashtag shadow
Shadow
money.
IT support. Basically, a new laptop arrived as a replacement of the other one, pre-provisioned, all set to go. She used her tech support to be able to go and to log in and to get stuff working and get apps working and stuff like that. But she still had stuff on the other laptop that was not carried over, that she wanted to make sure were carried over. I'm like, well, are you sure it's all working? You got all your apps? Yeah, it's all there. It's like, okay, no problem. So here I go with my lovely USB key, and I'm like, okay, let's go take a look and look around. So we're looking around, what's available. Here it is. Here's that. Here's this. Here's that. Find some files that are miscellaneous in different spots where they shouldn't be. Her company uses Box and also uses OneDrive. They combine for some reason. I don't know why. So most of the stuff's already all there, but some stuff's not. As soon as I plug in the USB key, no problem. Go off, start taking some files, drag, drop. Boom. A warning message pops up saying that this is an unauthorized device that's been used, and you're not allowed to go in and copy files.
Oh no! Oh, you violated. Oh,
I'm picturing some alarm going off in the home base somewhere saying,
oh no!
this person is trying to copy files off the system. So one of them was an installer file, because she has a copy of Project Professional, and just wanted to go off and reinstall Project to have things all going. Or sorry, for you Americans, Project on the system. So I'm like, okay, well, that's not going to work. So get rid of that. And luckily nothing popped up. No chat appeared. No remote control appeared or something like that. But apparently you can actually copy over files and also executable files inside of the other applications that are there. So magically having some files show up in Box and then appear in the other machine, that works fine.
Okay.
So, yeah, that was shadow IT support. Maybe that's shadow money, shadow beer money. I don't know what we can call that one there, but all legit, all good, all licensed. Just had to move some files and had to get creative with it, but up and working pretty quick. Their IT did a great job, had everything all set up, had everything secure, and they stopped me from using the USB stick. So
another random IT guy says, "Oh no, you triggered the alerts. You caused a sub one for somebody."
Probably somewhere else, some IT person had to wake up at 10 o'clock at night to see what was going on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Aspen Forrester says we have plans for that sort of blocking policy with our next round of laptop deployments.
Yeah.
Ferris to Britt says Shandy money.
Shandy.
Not a full beer. It's not
a full beer. It's watered down with juice.
Light beer money. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watered down with juice.
Hey, Beer Talk is here. Ledwig, just give us 2 minutes.
Yeah, give us 2 minutes here, man, would you?
What's up on the beer front with you?
So I met with a good friend of ours yesterday for just a social, have a pint and how's your life going kind of thing. Ms. Tasha Scott.
Tasha? Yes. Did she bring the Red Bull?
The Red Bull was left behind.
Okay.
Because she was running late from a meeting on her side. And she's not in the org that has no meetings this week. So
correct.
she had meetings.
She actually had meetings. Yeah.
Late to get to ours. On the new campus, there's a place that's called Cafe 75, I think it is.
Yes.
It's a nice restaurant that actually serves alcohol, has a nice patio. It was sunny yesterday. So we decided to go meet there and have a pint. And
nice.
I had a good old staple, good old Manny's. I just love me a
Manny's Pale Ale. Yeah, cannot go wrong.
We were commenting on how the menu has not shifted yet to their fall menu of beer selections. So it's all still very much an American lager with lime from Fremont Brewing. It's very much like a honey Weissen or something like that, like all very summery type stuff. And we asked the waiters, like, hey, man, like, where's all the malty things? He's like, I'm really sorry. we're not changing over until we drain the kegs. So
Gotcha.
challenge accepted.
Yeah, exactly. I went. I had a few minutes waiting for dinner to be picked up.
Mm-hmm.
I had arrived early.
In the grocery store again, where you have a bar in the grocery store.
No. This was actually at the at Total Wine. I went to Total Wine, and they have the singles out of a lot of the obviously Oktoberfest stuff, but we're starting to see some of the holiday stuff roll in.
Right.
But a lot of porters and stouts, lots of lactose or milk based stuff this year. It appears to be that's the trend for this year. At least what I've seen early. I have not been to breweries and seen this. So yeah, more to come. We'll investigate that a little bit further. They do have Sam at the grocery store on tap. You can go get Sam Adams Oktoberfest, which is a fantastic look. It's solid. Every year it's solid. It's just a solid thing, but it's also still, near 100 degrees Fahrenheit for us on a daily. So we're not really quite into the multi-season. That starts next week.
It's like 43 degrees outside right now and rainy here in Seattle.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm here. Hey, random spending.
We're just flying through the show today, man.
Well, no, because we just spent a lot of time on one segment, and I wanted to spend some time on this segment.
You got it. Well, we should first. I saw it fly by there in the lower thirds. Ledwig,
come back.
You can come back now.
You can come back now. So on the last program, we were talking about one of the bare money things that I did was help set up an iPad, and we kind of got sidetracked off on the Windows Virtual Desktop, Azure Virtual Desktop, to be accessed by the Windows app in the iPad. And Ledwig, speaking of Ledwig, was actually setting up his new iPad. So after the show, I reached out and I went, hey, what version did you get? What storage did you get? I'm considering getting a new one for a consumption device because I've just had the mini. And I think I've had it probably for 10 or 12 years. So it's kind of...
It's reached its EOL?
Yes, that is correct. It is EOL. So it was time for a device refresh. And so I ended up getting... getting distracted. Another random IT guy, my weekly random spend, bought the new Unify 2.5 Flex mini switch and some more cameras. I've got to talk to you about that switch once you get it installed. But anyway, got the iPad. I ended up going with the latest version as well. The standard iPad version. I was looking at Pro, looking at some of the other options. Got really cool
Apple Intelligence built in, though, right?
No, I do not believe that. Maybe it's ready. It's Apple Intelligent ready. I don't know.
Okay,
it doesn't matter. It's a consumption device. I use it to listen to music, watch movies, and read books on and surf a little bit when I'm just sitting.
With your hands? You actually surf with the iPad with your hands?
I do, yes, because it's got keyboard.
Okay.
So, touch too. So I picked up one of those, and as everybody knows, I was also looking at potentially getting a gaming laptop, so that I could play certain games that happen to have a new season starting in a couple of hours.
Right.
Diablo.
And you also need to be portable for your DJ stuff too.
Well, I actually have a DJ machine, so I wasn't too worried about that. So I started looking at gaming handhelds. Has anybody gone down this rat hole? Have you gone down things like the Steam Deck?
I have not, but I will share an interesting thing that I just learned of this week about an interesting use for said gaming handheld.
Okay. Question mark?
Brought one as a bring your own device lab machine.
Huh?
And it worked. They came to one of our events and we were having a BYOD, bring your own device, for the lab, and they pulled out this portable PC gaming device with a screen and everything, and he just hooked up a Bluetooth keyboard to it, and that was his machine, and it worked.
Well, so things like the Asus ROG Ally X or 10. I don't know if it's X or 10. The Rogue Ally 10. It's a Windows 11 device, right?
Right.
It runs,
Totally.
and so it's full on there. I've been actually looking at the Steam Deck OLED as well.
Oh yeah.
And so obviously, as a Windows guy, I've been a Windows guy for a long time. I was looking at the Asus devices. 800 is a lot to spend on a handheld for gaming. So, and then of course you've got the MSI Claw, you've got the Lenovo. Lenovo has a great one. Lenovo's are great because apparently the controllers disconnect, very similar to like the Nintendo Switch OG. I have a Switch Lite that I use and I play Minecraft on it. It's fine. Though I can tell you reading stats on things on the little screen on the Nintendo Switch, not the greatest. You can't zoom in to read the stats on
Bring
things.
me my reading glasses, Sonny.
No, I've got them right there. Yeah. And so it's about. So I'm looking. Okay, $800, and I've already dropped quite a bit on this iPad and the keyboard and everything else. I got it on sale, but it was still. And now I'm looking at this device, and the Windows-based ones have a little. They have their problems, right? Because it's there's Windows-based stuff, and so you get the Windows
hardware,
stuff.
man. Like it's small.
7-inch screen, which is about what the Steam Deck OLED, I believe, is a very similar size. And for gaming, the Steam Deck, it kind of is where it's at. Like that's what it does. It's a gaming device. It's an OS designed for gaming. And I believe I would probably not opt for the 1 terabyte version of the OLED device. And then you can upgrade it yourself. You can also just add a micro SD card, a fast micro SD card, and run everything there. So that's where I've been spending my time kind of looking at that mostly
So when are you
because
pulling the trigger?
well,
Are you?
so that's
are you
why
gonna-
I
are you
came to
gonna pull?
chat. I came to chat to ask, hey, chat,
Okay.
friends.
Yeah. Genescu 7 saying the MSI Claw is.
Yeah,
is
the
one
MSI
that-
Claw looks great, and the Lunar Lake
Yeah.
ones with Fallout, they're coming soon. And that's the other bit. We're coming up on the holiday season, so maybe I pause execution on this until we get through the holiday season.
Right. Right.
But I'm looking for a device. So look, I know Diablo 4 runs on the Steam Deck, and it runs fine. I know that I can play Minecraft Java Edition on the Steam Deck, and I can stream games from Xbox on it.
right.
The cool thing is it also apparently has the capability to run some emulators. And I'm thinking emulation of old school arcade games, possibly.
Oh, of course.
I know they've got like Nintendo stuff and all that, which is questionable, legal things on that. But like, I obviously wouldn't play track and field on it. I don't want to hammer the buttons, MAME, DJ Adiel, MAME. Yeah, exactly. Something similar to that where, you can play some of your favorite. For me, it's Neo Geo. Did you ever play the Neo Geo, like, Soccer Brawl? Where it's like robots playing soccer? That was great. It was great. Soccer Brawl was great. You know what? You need to come down here so that I can take you to Ready Player One.
The movie?
Well, sorry. Actually, I believe it's not Ready Player One. I believe it's just called Player One. It's a barcade. So it is a bar that has a menu of hundreds of craft beers, not all on tap. They've got a lot of cans. Sours are big here. I'm not sure if you're a big fan of the sours. So like all the taste like a slushy beers, they've got lots of those there.
Like milkshake beer, I call them.
Yeah, exactly. So you can pay.
You're bleeding the sections together though, because
Oh no, I know, but like I got caught into. So here's the thing, you pay like $6-7. You go in. All of the video games are free to play.
Oh,
with the exception of pinball.
$7 for the quarters.
Nope. The only thing you need to bring quarters for is pinball, which is where I'm going to spend all my money. Let's be clear, because they've got some great pinball machines. But you can go and they have like old school. They had track and field. They have like Asteroids, Galaga, Pac-Man, like the old school like cabinet video games.
Yeah, the proper ones.
And they're all free to play. So you pay your little cover charge. You can go up. The beers are reasonably priced. They have some snacks.
Reasonably priced.
They have a massive pretzel that's like the size of like 2 of our heads. You need to come down and check out Player One. Yeah, that alone is worth the price of admission. And if we really wanted to, you could bring an extra pocket of quarters and we could go to the Pinball Museum.
Pinball Museum? Okay.
Which is located on the strip. They don't have drinks. They don't have food, but all the pinball machines. I'm just putting that out there. But at any rate, looking at the handheld, because I don't play a ton of different games. I kind of get stuck in the ones that I like to play. And that's kind of where I'm at now. Nice. So.
Would you like to see my random spending that I spent some money on?
Yes. What did you spend?
My unfinished office, which is always unfinished at this point in time.
It's just the way it's going to be.
You can see right here this old Commodore SX64 luggable laptop that I picked up at a garage sale.
You mentioned you were doing something with this.
Right. So I managed to pick up a, how big is it? 5.6 inch screen. To be
what is the current size? Like 3 inch? Oh, look at that. Is that LED? The back of it
is a Raspberry Pi device with a HDMI bridge between the two of them. And the goal is, because that machine's really dead, and to find the parts for it is actually quite hard on eBay to get parts that work, for the replacement of the CRT tube. And so I've seen a hack mod where they take a Pi and they take a screen like this one. Believe it or not, it's actually it's a touch screen, which is crazy. That's actually a touch screen on this thing. And this fits perfectly behind where the CRT would normally go. And then I can go and I can actually run a Commodore 64 emulator on this using the case back there to be able to go in and to actually have some fun back in the day with one of my first computers. So so I have a question. What happens to the insides of that Commodore? Like, is it not recoverable? Are you not able to? If I search around, I can probably find a CRT piece that would fit in there from another salvaged SX64. There's a number of them on eBays that come up and come down all the time, so that it is a possibility that I can go off and revive it. I'm going the fast route at this point.
Okay.
I mean, let's be honest. It's I'm not going to call it a wall hanger, but it's the shelf sitter in the background for what's
fair enough.
So that's the short-term fix. And I might get frisky and actually go off and do further diagnostics to be able to try to determine just how bad, if the CRT is actually really dead, or if it's actually part of the other parts that are dead. So one or the other. We'll see.
All right.
Anyway, it was that was my El Cheapo $40 fix.
No, that's actually pretty dang cool, and it looks like a Commodore 64, but yeah. Does Commodore 64 have drivers to do touch?
The other the other problem that exists is this keyboard is really bad.
Okay.
There's a membrane at the bottom that the keys go off and hit, and it's notoriously known for basically just crumbling to dust because it's old. There are a number of third-party solutions that are out there for it. But either way, that's some fun projects and side time, because I got all sorts of free time on the weekends, as you probably know. All the other projects in my house, to go off and to go and resurrect something like that. So we shall see. And I love Wired Canucks. 10 print Hello World, 20 go to 10 run. Yeah, that's about extent of what my first programs were like back in the day.
Got to press the brake. What's the? Is it the brake button you had to? How did you escape from that?
There was a.
Because like now I'm just like control command. Like I don't even remember what the command was to escape that loop.
Let me go check the keyboard.
Is there a brake button?
Technically, it would be the run stop button.
Okay. All right, there you go. It's a hot minute since we've been coding in BASIC. That's
Hot
that's
mess.
for darn sure.
Working
That's
in
for darn
that.
sure. Have you? Hey, we were talking about games. Have you seen this game called Lockdown Protocol?
No. What's that?
Okay, so you remember
boy.
when we played what was the murder
Among Us.
game Among Us,
Among Us.
right? Where we run around and you have to do. So this is very similar. Is it by the same developers, Jared? I think it might be, but I'm not sure.
I don't think it is, but I'll look it up real quick.
So it's a very similar game where there are people who are the obstructionist kind of people, and then there's the people who have to go do their tasky things. And there's various weapons and various chaos. I think we need to have another community gaming day and stream this and play this game
Oh yeah.
because it have a look. Go look at some streamers playing this game because the chaos that ensues. So like you could pick up a block of C4 and you're like running around because you don't want the bad guys to have the block of C4. But then the
Right.
bad guys pick up the detonator.
Oh.
And you have it in your pocket and you're standing around other people and and you don't know who's good or bad. And then you could do these things like they have like things like people put their hands, you can put your hands up or point to them or
we
have a look at
it's-
Lockdown Protocol. Yeah.
I think we
It's
are
not the
definitely
same
overdue
developers.
for having a gaming night.
Okay, not
It's
the same developers. Okay.
This Lockdown Protocol is from Mirage Creative Lab.
Okay.
Nice.
Gadget 360 says you're both sus. True.
Very true.
DJ Adiel wants to know if your Commodore 64 have a turbo button.
No.
No,
No
that,
turbo
that
button.
didn't come until 286, did it not?
That was in the Intel platform for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
The,
86s.
Again, the biggest complaint about this was that it was literally for executives. It was not targeted towards the home market. It was not targeted, and it
was for the executive on the go.
executive on the go that needed to bring their machine into the boardrooms back in the 80s. So
I remember having
Yeah.
a suitcase laptop that was a Toshiba, and
yeah.
it was a 286, and we used it in the football office to do statistics on film breakdown.
They weren't cheap.
No, they
Correct.
weren't.
What was? Do you remember what the going price was on that?
If I
I
remember
know the
correctly,
one-
the luggable device was in the 800s. So it was pricey.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
back in the 80s, it was 800s.
Luggable, not portable. Luggable.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
why
But I will be clear, I was not working in IT when this was in use. I was using this as a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you use one of those as a kid, or did you just use the standard 64 /
No,
128?
we had the standard everyday 64, and that was our third
Yeah.
computer. The first
Yeah.
one that I cut my teeth with was the ZX81 by Sinclair.
The ZX61.
ZX81 from Sinclair. That was later bought by Timex.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And you could actually get one on the back of a Cheerios box. If you mailed in enough box tops, I think you could get one.
Yeah.
But
My
my
first-
dad built it for us. Built it for the family because he's an electrical engineer.
My
back in the
first
day.
computer was a Commodore 64 that we bought at Safeway.
Yeah.
At Safeway, the grocery store.
At Safeway, the grocery store. In the front, used to have a video store where you could rent and buy movies. They also had Atari and Commodore computers.
Wow. That's crazy.
And my second computer was a Commodore 128D.
Yeah. See, our family skipped from the Sinclair to the 64. We did a small time with the Radio Shack Tandy Coco color computer. Then we went off to Commodore 64s, and then my dad went Mac at that point,
Okay.
and I went Amiga
Okay.
for gaming.
Remember
that's the-
DJ
that's the
Adiel in chat?
Family record.
Trash 80. TRS 80.
Nice. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Exchange SME jumps in and says the VIC 20.
Yeah. See,
Go
now we're just
Gadget.
getting all Gen Xer here, eh? Jeez.
GoGo
So
Gadget
are
360 said $995 in 1983. That is $3,144 in today's money.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? Kowski had a Toshiba laptop in middle school, 1990, used in class. When BYOD was a thing. DJ Eddie had the Coco 2 with the cassette.
Yeah.
Commodore 64 with the cassette drive. Anybody remember the game Spy vs. Spy on the Commodore 64?
I do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Totally, man.
Loved that game. Like, do you remember when it came out? Like, so I read a lot of Mad Magazine. So
Yep.
the ads that this was going to be a game that I could play on my computer. 100%. Yeah. That was awesome. Folks in chat. Go ahead.
Do you remember there was a golf game for the it was something like Pro Golf or something for the Commodore, but they had their licensing was a little thing you had to plug into the cassette port. And I found out through means, all you had to do was have a cassette drive and press play, no tape in it, and it emulated whatever it was looking for.
World Golf 1987.
That's the one. That's the one. And that's how you can you could make backup copies of the games for yourself and use it other places.
Not that we support that in any way, shape, or form.
Not that we would support that. No.
Ledwick says,
I was going to say Kowski wins it for all of us right now for the end of the segment, which is basically we're all a bunch of old nerds.
100% correct. Just so everybody is aware.
AV Club, I'm sure.
No, theater. Ledwick says there's a new documentary about the Sinclair's ZX called The Rubber Keyed Wonder. So have a look out from that. Go Gadget 360 VIC 20, first computer. Vizio MVP, mine was an IBM 1620. The TI 99 4A, Wire Canuck comes in. Aspen Forrester, pretty sure I had a copy of Spy vs. Spy for my Atari. Phil Erb says it's an off-site backup. True.
Yes.
Nice.
True.
I actually had one piece of random spending that wasn't computer related.
Okay.
I replaced the distribution tree on the propane tank of the Jayhawk, so I could actually run my heater on external propane tanks again.
Winterizing the Jayhawk, making sure that Jared does not freeze.
Yes, exactly.
Very good.
Do we remember the first Intel processors, the 8080s?
Oh yeah.
The 8088s? Did you have those in school? Like that was what was in the computer labs at my school.
Yeah, I had the 8088s.
We had an
the
8086
Apple
with the
IICs.
math coprocessor.
Yeah, we had the Apple IICs.
We had Apple IICs as well. I learned how to do like MIDI music on those back in the day. I used to cause all sorts of fun.
My first Windows machine was a 386, but I was in college by then, so I bought the 387 math coprocessor because I needed to do AutoCAD for school.
Yeah.
What was the first processor? So I assume most of us have built our own machines. What was the first machine you ever built?
386 DX40 with a math coprocessor, the 387 added to it.
That's around the same, I think, what I did in those lovely Sound Blaster cards. You had to worry about moving the jumpers around on.
Sound Blaster 16, baby.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was as important
And
as GPUs are now.
Yeah.
VGA video. Not CGA, VGA.
Oh no, 100%. 100%.
We are literally so far down this rabbit hole right now. How do we pull this back, my friend?
What was it that what
I was going to say 320 meg hard drive.
Yeah. What were you building your computer for?
For college.
And Rick, what were you building yours for?
For me, I was building it for a BBS I ran.
Nice.
I used to run a BBS in the evenings because it was a shared telephone line.
I had a modem, and we didn't have networking into the dorms yet, so I had to use the phone line to connect up to campus.
KT Baker 7738616 with the turbo button, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
I built my first 386 to play games. Descent, Doom,
Ultima.
I'm not saying I didn't play games, but the reason why I told my parents I needed it was for work, for college.
What was the Duke Nukem?
Yeah, and Doom and the original Doom.
Yeah, Duke Nukem. That was, and then BBS's, CompuServe. You have to go pick up a CompuServe disc down at the
I can neither confirm nor deny that I had a visit by the RCMP when I was a kid.
Where's my horse?
I actually
for war dialing.
Oh yeah, used to do that on my Commodore 64. There was a group of us that had copies of protocol discs that we would connect to the campus network, and then you could run certain protocols, and then all of a sudden you were connected to the internet. It was this cool thing, and you could play MUDs and connect to news groups and get your email directly on your computer. You didn't have to go through the campus server directly.
Nice.
You could just pull it down to your machine.
Aspen Forster says, worked for a guy at an engineering firm who decided it'd be cheaper if we built all the computers. Oh, all the company's workstations?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely many hours spent copying, typing games from Amstrad Action, learning how to type real quick, built dozens of 486 and Pentium desktops. I've swapped hundreds and hundreds of hard drives and reinstalled NT more times than I care to admit. Yeah, we're old, but it's okay because it's historical.
Yes, it is. Or
hysterical. Until you realize that some of this stuff is closer to World War II in history than it is to now. At any rate, hey, head on over to.
We got to name the next section. We are so
I was gonna had you not interrupted me, I would have told people to head on over to passions.showbot.tv. Vote for the words. We've got early bird backpack, optional buy-in, conference DLC, hybrid pre-show, Vuvuzela, Small Agency Blues, Scritch's Game of Flying, Show Bacon Entourage, Your People, RGECLM, Shadow Rick, Shadow IT, Winders, Barcade, Ready Player Switch, Ready Player Patch, Patch Pie, Switch Pie, Luggable, Old Nerds, First Computer, Gray Nerd. Gray Nerd?
Gray Nerds.
Gray Nerd, I guess.
So the color of our hair?
Yeah,
possibly.
We had hair.
Dude, you keep bringing back those Chicago Ignite videos where my hair was brown?
Oh, yeah. There's another one going up today, right after the show.
Great. I can't wait. So we're going to go with Gray Nerd, Winders.
We got to do Rick Shadow IT or something like
that.
Yeah.
Shadow Rick. Yes.
There we go.
Which will be the name for the next program, which is in a fortnight's time. And with that, we have come to the end of another exciting episode of the Patch to Switch program. Apparently, the band was muted just like Announcer Boy. It's all good. It's all good. We're back in a fortnight's time, but we want to thank our friends who made this show completely turn sideways, and now I'm going to go start looking at Commodore 64 emulators to play Spy vs. Spy. Anyway, thanks to TRP8472 at their post as normal, GoGo Gadget 360, Vizio MVP as normal in the house, KT Baker 77, Aspen Forrester, Absablog and Lootly, Jan, IBM Pentium 1000.
Yeah.
True. Kowski. Let's see, who else do we have? The Fairest of Brit.
I would say Fair Brit was in there. I got at least.
I am curious. Mauve in the house. Our good friend Ledwig, the shadiest of pandas. Everybody else for joining us. Thank you very much. We're back in a fortnight's time. Until then, have a weekend, everybody. Okay,
glad
so
people haven't figured out that this is running on a Commodore 64.
that whole show, all the audio. Speaking
Everything.
of which, can we play Pitfall again?
Oh yeah,
We can.
I'll cue it up.
I
No,
never
you don't.
finished it. Did you ever finish Pitfall? I never completed it.
I've
never
never
finished it.
I don't think I. The only one I ever finished was the River Raid.